Hey everyone, and welcome back to the EZDex YouTube channel. Have you seen different DeFi projects with crazy yield like 1,000% or 10,000% or more? Did you ever wonder how they can offer such high yields? Well, today we will be talking about yield in DeFi, where it comes from, and the types of yield that are out there. You may have seen many different projects out there in the past that seem to be offering very different types of yield, though in reality we can basically narrow down the types of yield into three different categories. There's yield from borrowing and lending, yield from protocol fees like swap fees, and yield from token emissions. So, yield from borrowing and lending is pretty straightforward. You have applications like Compound, where one user lends their digital assets for a certain borrow rate, and another user borrows these assets and pays a higher rate than the lender receives, and the protocol takes the rest basically. Pretty normal, pretty healthy, pretty straightforward. You usually do this with stable coins like USDC, USDT, or DAI, but you can also do this with long-term holdings of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other common platform tokens. So that's the lending side, and it's pretty easy to understand. However, after talking to many people, it seems like there is still some confusion about why anyone would borrow in these systems. The biggest reason is because they would like to hold their coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then borrow against them for stable coins like USDC or DAI, in order to essentially free up the money to use for other things. These could be DeFi applications or things like leveraged yield farming, where you can borrow against your collateral even several times in order to get a better return on your capital, sometimes with not that much relative risk for doing so. Though, of course, please do your own research before jumping into things like that. Then there's yield from protocol fees like swap fees. This is also pretty easy to understand. You can deposit your coins in a liquidity pool, for example, the EZDex and Ethereum pair on Uniswap, and you receive the fees from the trading that occurs on that pair. Finally, there's yield from token emissions, and this is probably where you have seen the crazy high yields from online, like 1,000 or 10,000% APY. Now I should clarify here, some of these yields are fake, but many are actually real. Real in the sense that these would be the projected yields if the token being issued to the stakers or those providing liquidity stayed at the same value during the same year. But if the token drops in price, obviously you're not going to make a 10,000% return on capital. Though, if the token does well, it may still be a significant return, like 5x, 10x, 20x, or more. But it honestly just depends on the project. Essentially, what you're doing by participating in these incentivized pools or staking programs is betting on the success of that project. Will this project succeed and be around for a while? If yes, then those yields are great and basically just serve to pad the return on a longer-term investment. If not, then probably best not to consider it. So, those are the sources of yield in DeFi. I hope this video has helped you to better understand how money is made in DeFi and where yield comes from. As always, I'm Robert with EZDex, and I hope to see you back here next time.